It's 3:33, my favorite time of the day, it be. It almost rhymes if I force it. I just thought I would pop on and use up some data and say, hey, it's 3:33, you know. It's a good time, as usual, to take a deep breath and then let that breath go. Check in with your body. Shake off some cares and worries. Make room for new cares and worries. Let's do a short little stretching and strengthening session, shall we? I'm going to point this heater more directly at me and take a sip of tea, because that's a good thing to do. Nearly any time of day as well. You got to slurp it like that too, if you can. I think that's considered a compliment to yourself if you made the tea. Taking a couple of breaths just to bring my awareness into my sits bones, into my spine. Maybe shrug those shoulders a couple of times. In fact, let's do that more emphatically. Bringing the shoulders up into the ears, breathing in. And then just letting that go, shaking it off. Ooh, we got pre-golden hour. Breathing in, bringing those shoulders up to the ears, and then just blowing off all the dust, all the cares, all the worries. Do a little arm stretching, and then one more time, breathing in, shrugging the shoulders up, and then just letting it go, blowing it off. Let's do a little stretching over to the right side and stretching over to the left. Really focused on pressing that opposite side down. There's something exciting going on out there. So pressing down on the left and stretching over to the right. And then pressing down on the right and stretching over to the left. Shake that out some more. Let's do a little twisting to the back. Twisting through the spine, through the shoulders, with the eyes. Giving all those organs a nice hug. Trying to keep both sits bones still rooted into the ground. And then unwinding all of that. Shake that out again. Let's come over to the other side. Using my left hand on right knee for torque. Keeping my other hand in close to the body and giving all those organs a squeeze. Unwinding all of that, shaking it out. Let's bring both arms up and still rooting both sits bones toward the ground. Leaning to the right. I'm going to bring this right arm slowly down and then stretch it out on the ground. Really rooting that left hip down and leaning over to the right, thusly getting a very nice stretch all through the torso. Let's twist a little bit and gaze up. Getting a nice twist through the torso still. Rooting that opposite hip down, and then back to the side, coming back up, bringing this arm back up, coming to upright, and then rooting both sits bones still, now leaning to the left, letting that left arm float down, and then sliding it out. For support, still rooting that right hip down into the ground. And then let's shift for a little twist, gazing up, using the abdominal muscles a little bit to increase increase that twist, still really pushing down with that right hip and using the left hand for support. And then bringing that back over to the side. And then sliding back up, bringing that arm up to meet the other arm, coming back up to upright. Let's do a little twisting while we're up here, just for variety. Kind of passive, gentle twisting, no hands for torque. To the back, through the spine. Releasing both arms, coming back to center. Shake that out. Let's bring both legs out forward. Bounce those out a little bit. Do a little forward folding, aiming my chin for my toes, pulling back in the toes a little bit. See if I can get a different angle of that. I don't know if my toes are they in the picture? There we go. Trying to keep the back relatively flat, aiming chin for toes, pulling those toes back, and then rounding the spine, aiming forehead for knees, and then again alternating chin for toes. You can lift arms or use arms on legs for torque if you want to help pull the body. I'm pulling from the hips. And then rounding more from the waist, aiming forehead for knees. And then again, chin for toes, pulling back in those toes a little bit. And then forehead for knees, rounding the spine. Chin for toes. Add the arms, and then lifting up, pushing through those sits bones. And then again, let's add a little passive twisting with the legs out forward. Just kind of noticing how those actions feel different in the body depending on what all's getting involved. Let's do a little balancing while we're here. It's a pretty time of day on the wall on the Head Hutt here, isn't it? It's one of my favorite times of day on that wall. Let's do some ankle rotation. Just balancing here on the sits bones. And then the other way. I encourage you to get down on the floor more often if you're not on the floor much. As many people aren't. You can just kind of play around doing ankle rotations or balancing on the sits bones or straightening and bending the legs. Straighten and bend one leg at a time. Just get playful is really the idea, and move. Explore your body a little. This is a nice variation on the 100 any reps if you like to do that sort of thing as I do. As a minimum, I try to do 100 reps of something most days. I fall off track now and then and start over, and some days I get super extra ambitious and do 500 or more reps, but a lot of times there's something easy like this, and I like to demonstrate this sort of thing because it doesn't have to be hard, it doesn't have to be complicated, it doesn't have to be, anything specific. It can be a mixture of things. Anything that you're doing that's more than you were doing is probably a good thing for the body. So, and as I like to say, your body's the one thing you can't live without. So, I hope you're taking care of it. I encourage you to give it a little love. Give it a little movement. On that note, I'm going to get back to my Saturday afternoon. Bella, Mike, good to see ya. Hope you're remembering to take care of you. Mary, hi. Thanks for stopping by. Happy Saturday afternoon. Don't forget to play. Don't forget to breathe. Peace.